Hello guys, welcome back onto the channel. We're going to be continuing with the GT League mode. On the last video we did the Clubman Cup. We did all of the 5 races and now we're going to be moving on to the Tourist Trophy Audi TT race. So I think this is just a one make race or just this one car model that we're going to be able to choose to race on these tracks. So let's jump right in on the first event. Northern Isle Speedway, 15 laps. It's going to be pretty quick. Alright, so we're in the back of the pack as usual. Nothing new here. Let me turn the traction control off. Okay. If there's one thing that GT Sport absolutely nails are the night races. The lighting in this type of races, I don't know, it looks really good. Especially so when you compare it to Forza, which is great, don't take me wrong, but at the same time, I think the Gran Turismo Sport looks more, I don't know, realistic. And I don't know what's going on with my game. I don't remember ever seeing this on other people's video, but it seems that my game, especially so when I'm recording using my capture card, there's this weird ghosting issue going on the back of the car. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a it's like the car is leaving some sort of trail behind. I don't know. I don't know if this is related to the capture card, maybe one of the settings that I'm currently using, or if this is just an issue with the game itself. Let me know in the comments down below if you're having the same issue. I'm kind of curious and a little bit worried that it might be my capture card. I don't know. Actually it can be my capture card because I was using a different model up until earlier this week. I was using the one I borrowed from my brother-in-law, and I finally have my own, which is the HD60S, and the issue still persists. So something tells me that it has something to do with the game. But anyways, we're up in 6th place. I don't think we're gonna have any trouble uh, getting all the way up to the first place, but I hope I'm wrong because, to be honest, I'm I'm actually debating whether or not I'm gonna keep doing these career events and bringing them over to the channel. I actually have maybe I think 3 or 4 pre-recorded videos that I haven't got around to edit yet, but the races are kind of boring, to be honest. And it's a little sad for me because I really wanted to like the career mode, and indeed I do. But I don't think that the races that you get on these events are actually video material. If you know what I mean, they're not entertaining. I enjoy going through them because I enjoy the Gran Turismo career mode, but I don't think they are all that interesting for you guys to watch because once you get to the first place, the race pretty much dies out. You race by yourself without so much of a duel between you or the second place, unless you screw up badly. But even still, even with me missing my braking points all the time and kind of going off the track all the time because I don't know the braking points in these lower cars, it still felt kind of boring. But one of you guys, a guy named Guido Ross, I don't know if I'm butchering your name, so if I am, I apologize in advance. But Guido Ross mentioned in the comments on one of my videos uh, that the first races they are easy indeed, but the endurance races they are kind of on the more difficult side, very difficult according to him, and that kind of got me excited, to be honest, because now that I enjoy things that are too difficult, I think if races get way too difficult to the point that they get frustrating, they're not fun. They lose the fun aspect. But anything better than the current races to me is a win. So I'm kind of looking forward. I don't know if I should skip over straight to the endurance race. I know that they're quite long, so I need to set some time aside in order to do them in one go. But I might be skipping over to them if I find that this beginner league is not getting any better. And I don't know if I'm driving poorly, but it looks like the difficulty ramped up a little bit in this event, because by now I would be in first place maybe 3 or 4 laps ago. I know that I'm probably screwing up my shifting, and I'll probably need to repeat this event. But I don't know if I'm gonna do this on camera though. So yeah, second place. So yeah, either I drove poorly, which is a very plausible possibility, or the events are starting to get a little bit more difficult, which is exactly what I expect as we progress through the GT League mode. But anyways, I'm gonna repeat the race, and I'm not gonna do that on camera because ovals are not that exciting, at least not in offline mode. Online they can be quite interesting, but I'm gonna repeat them and I'll be back once I finish the race. So yeah, turns out you don't need to brake at all in this car and in this track combination, and you just need to let off the gas a couple meters before every corner, and you should be fine. And I did a lot better than my first run, and I got to the first place by the seventh lap. So this tells me that the difficulty didn't ramp up as I thought. It was just a matter of me driving poorly. Anyways, first place in this race. We're gonna be moving on to the second event, which is gonna be in. Let me see. Okay, so we're gonna be heading to Dragon Trail, the reverse layout. Okay, I'm kind of familiar with that. Oh, nice. So there's a Nürburgring Nordschleife full layout coming up. So yeah, that's the one I'm the most interested in. I read this week on an article the GT Planet published that this track is a fictional one, and I just went off the track. Not a good way to start a race. But anyways, I read on an article GT Planet published earlier this week that this track, even though it's a fictional one, it's based off an actual place, and I don't remember exactly where that is. Maybe Scotland. I don't know. I need to check um, to make sure I get that right, and I can't do that right now because I'm racing. But uh, yeah, it's based off a real location, even though it's fictional. It's the same thing as in the Bernese Alps in Forza Motorsport. It's based off Switzerland, so it's a fictional track, but based off a real one. No, not a real track, but a real location. There's a distinction there. I kind of like this one sort of one car model race, not because they are competitive or anything, but they can serve as a gauge uh, to kind of figure out whether or not the difficulty ramped up or not, because the cars are the same, so they should be equal in performance. So what's gonna make a difference is whether or not the AI can keep up, or the opposite, if you can keep up with the AI. Which in the case of this races, all the races that I've done since I began playing through the GT League mode, it falls into the first camp. It's more of a matter of whether or not the AI can keep up, because they're pretty slow. And as you can see, a car just drove itself out of the track and into the wall. So we're up in 7th place. We haven't even crossed the line into the second lap. I was gonna say third lap, but I'm quite ahead of myself. And yeah, looks like we're gonna get two easy positions here. Yeah, we just got bumped up to 4th place. Let's see if we don't drive ourselves out of the track. It was actually kind of nice, even though I think I should have braked a little bit before the 150-meter marker. Now this corner here, I think I said that in another video, but this corner here is the source uh, of some of this stress in online lobbies, mostly because some people here tend to take the corner flat out, the people that are really good, and some people tend to brake way more than they should, and that's when they cause some sort of a train wreck situation that pretty much ruins your race. So my advice whenever you're racing this track in this specific layout, that actually both that goes for both layouts, but if you're racing online and you're maybe following someone up close and you're about to take the corner, back out a little bit. Even if it's gonna cost you a few tenths or maybe a second or two, back out, because that might be that might be the difference between actually keeping your position and losing a couple of positions because you got involved into a crash. And in my opinion, it's way better to keep a position than get involved into an accident and lose a couple positions. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I did on the first videos of the GT League mode, and I feel that I just edged that guy out. I don't know, got that sense. We break just before the 50 marker. Yeah. Oh my god, I took the first corner so well, and the second one I completely butchered. I don't even. I wasn't even supposed to be giving people advice when I drive this badly. Alright, a little bit before the 150 marker. I think it's gonna be enough. Somehow, yeah, my shifting is a little bit off, but because I keep bottoming out. Bottoming out? No, I think topping out. Yeah, I don't know the proper term for when you reach the top end of your gear. Maybe it's topping out, I think. Bottoming out, I think it's the opposite. But anyways, doesn't matter. I think you guys understood what I was talking about. But if you do know the correct term, please let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, you guys have been helping me out a lot in these videos. One of you, a guy named Captain underscore Dirt, he corrected me because there was a video that I uploaded, maybe I think last month. I don't remember exactly, where I was kind of wondering uh, what was the best way for me to say that I was getting rid of the penalty. I was wondering whether I should say paying up the penalty or I don't know. And he said that the best way, or at least a way for me to say that, is running out the penalties. So thanks, man. I really appreciate the help. So if you guys know whether the correct term for when you reach the top end of your gear and you need to shift up is either bottoming out or topping out, let me know in the comments down below. Alright, so one more race out of the way, and now we're gonna be finally able to move on to my favorite track in general of racing games. Of course, in this game, Tokyo is my favorite, followed by the Autodrome, Lago Maggiore. I always get the one mixed up, but in racing games in general, Nürburgring is my absolute favorite track, especially so in Forza Motorsport. Okay, so let's move on to perhaps the longest race of all three, and hope that I don't make an embarrassment out of myself because I have pretty much all of the breaking points in this race figured out in the faster cars. That's the catch. I'm gonna need to adjust my braking points to this car. But anyways, let's see. It's just a one lap race, so we're looking at maybe 9 minutes long. I don't know how fast this car is able to take uh, this track in particular, but in some of I think the Group 4 category, you're able to do this racing. If you're really fast, you're able to do that in just under 7 minutes. And if you're like me and you're not that fast, you're able to do just a little bit over 7 minutes. There's very little space for overtaking in this track, and that's, I think, what gets me the most excited about it, because it's a difficult track but a nice flowing one at least. So this guy's not leaving me enough space. Fair enough. So the AI is kind of putting up a fight, at least over this section, which is kind of nice. I don't want them to give me space. I want them to drive on the defensive whenever they're about to get overtaken, because that's how real people would actually drive in a either real life situation or in an online race. So it's kind of nice to see that the AI is at least adapting their behavior, or maybe that was just a one-off thing. Who knows? But it's kind of nice to see that the AI is kind of putting up a fight and blocking me off. Okay, let's try. Okay, yeah, I knew that I was gonna screw up this corner. I got that feeling before reaching the corner that I was gonna mess up. But anyways, we still have plenty of track left to overtake the other cars in front of us. We're up in ninth place. Okay, so we're up in fifth place. Yeah, I should have braked a little bit earlier than that. But this car actually feels really nice to drive without the traction control. There are some cars in this category that they become undrivable without the traction control. But this is quite the opposite. You actually uh, can be faster with traction control off in this one. The fact that we're also using a sports hard tire uh, actually helps us out a lot, because if you're using, no, you know what, this is kind of confusing now that I come to think of it, because I was gonna say something that was clearly a mistake. I, I remember that I raced a couple races in this car in one of the daily races, and if I'm not wrong, I think all of the cars were set to sports hard tires, and I don't remember the car driving this well. I remember the car kind of tended to slide over corners quite a bit. It had quite a loose end. I don't know. Maybe I was running different tires and I'm just confusing things. But yeah, this car just barely managed to stay on track, and of course we're gonna capitalize on that. We're up in second place. There's just one car in front of us, so that gives me hope that we're gonna be able to um, reach the main straight in first place because that's exactly what I want, and I don't want to be too close to the second place either. Otherwise, they're gonna use their my slipstream to try and overtake me. I think so far this is one of the best races out of all of the other ones that I've done in GT League mode. That's the one that I feel that the AI is actually putting up a fight and is not letting me uh, get away that easily. That's exactly what I was looking for, and I hope this is just a sign of what's to come over the next events. This is the last one of this championship, and this guy just won't let go of me. He keeps pushing and pushing and staying fairly close to me. I accidentally shift up to fifth gear. Didn't want to do that, but we didn't lose a lot of time. I'm taking a sort of a defensive line. I'm kind of driving in the middle of the track as to not leave him any space to overtake him. Exactly the same tactic that the AI used early earlier in this race. Oh my god, that was that was actually nice that the AI pulled that off. Okay, now we're talking. That's what I wanted. Did two wheels onto the grass, not good. And he drove himself out of the track. Oh crap! I remember that I don't think this game ever gonna get a B spec mode. In case you're unfamiliar or you haven't played Gran Turismo a whole lot, B spec is basically a mode where you become the manager. You manage the driver, you manage the races, and you had to kind of give guidance to your driver as to when he should drive more aggressively, when he should keep up the pace, when he should slow down. And I remember that in the B spec mode, the more you push the driver, the more nervous he would get, and the more prone to mistakes he would become. And I remember that there was a nice thing to have that I didn't see in the A spec mode, which is basically the same as we're playing, the one that we actually get to drive the cars. And the way that the AI is driving in this race makes me get that sense that maybe perhaps if you're pushing too hard, the AI in front of you is gonna get a little bit nervous and more prone to mistakes, because that's the only way I can explain such awful mistakes that the AI has been making since we started this race. But yeah, it was a nice move that this car actually caught up to us um, over that straight. I honestly didn't expect the AI to pull that off, but there were two nice moments in this race that I didn't really expect, and it's kind of nice to see that the AI can be competitive at times. I hope that this becomes the norm though. But anyways, that's been the last race of the championship. We are, yeah, we're kind of racking up mileage points really fast. And just let me back out of the menu to get my free car of the day, because I just realized that I reached the target distance for my free car. Let's see which one we get. I hope that we get one that uh, I don't own yet. Let's see. Yeah, we actually own this one, the Renault. Uh, this is the Renault Sport RS1. Yeah, we actually own this car, so I think it's gonna be a good idea for me to sell some of the cars that I actually bought to kind of get some of the money back. I'm not gonna get all of the money that I spent, but at least I'm gonna have some cash back. But anyways, guys, in my opinion, I don't know about you, but in my opinion, these were the most fun races so far in the GT League mode. So this gives me hope. I really hope that the races do improve. But if I realize that the races are not getting any better and I'm racing by myself for the most part during the races, then I think I'm gonna just cut the series short, and I'm gonna move on to maybe the endurance series and see if the difficulty really does ramp up, as Guido Ross mentioned in the comments. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you had fun watching this video. That's been really fun for me. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more GT Sport content, share the video with your friends and on your social media. Helps me out a lot and I really appreciate the help. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.